put in work, and same thing for you. I put in so much work. And then I get in, because you prepare for something, you feel, it's a fight. And you put in so much work, and obviously I can fight, but I can cut my viewers. And then you get in there and say, hey, that's what you do. Wow. So it's that turns in that belief. Like I said, I was
I mean, a lot of people used to always ask me, you're a former fighter, who you ever be like, and so forth. And I'll just be like, I don't want to be like me. I like this guy, but I want to be like me. I never, I was put here to lead like this. Growing up in the neighborhoods, especially, when you're looking around and your friends getting shot, you getting shot, they going to jail, some getting killed, just drugs and violence around, growing up, you can separate yourself, and everything around you was negative, and you don't have that father figure to pull you into the right direction. Your mom, she's working, so you out playing with your friends that's all negative, that's getting into a lot of things. So you gotta make a decision. Sometimes you make the wrong decision, and sometimes you got good people in your life that see the talent in you, that when you around, put your hands around you, and you got too much to give, to be doing the things that you're doing. Granted that I always looked at never, had to do things that friends was doing, because I always felt like I was the leader. So when I used to kick me out there, quite I made work out. Never one time had any of my friends ever like, man, go to the gym, go. Sometimes they be like, man, it's not that time, man, you gotta go. Because they seen that I had, something special. And when I started playing football, basketball, and wrestling and stuff like that, and I wasn't boxing, then it was just like we all beat each other. But once I started back boxing, got serious, then it was just like, man, I'll take off like that. I'll run to the gym. My coach couldn't beat me up. It got to the point where when I came home from school, my coach was waiting on me to come and grab, because he was like, you getting too much trouble in the streets, let's go. So I would be at his house for hours until we go to the gym, just watching life.
Speaking about a little bit of that, you rolling the dice that someone's there recently. I really think you shot that. These days, with the witches, I don't think you ever brought it up. I don't think you ever went kind of that. But I thought recently, that's the thing, I followed you quite a bit. Talk about what could have that day, right? You could have, probably should be sitting in their seat. They want to take you off, you sitting in your car, coming here, one they should go, die. No, I want to
something that I would flip to the future instead of the past. And it wasn't like somebody just came shot me in the back of my head and stuff like that. It was just a rivalry neighborhood that, came up, started shooting, and shot me. I got hit in my car. He was also he got hit.
Was he okay? Yeah. No, I completely get that. That's something that I can understand. See, that's probably why we haven't crossed paths for these years. But it's when you see great observe, you see, right? That's what I just said. Along the scene. When you get to this level, I say this all the time. It's okay because representation. Think of all the kids from little towns like Oklahoma, and feel like, oh, that they matter, that they can never do something. That's picture them running into, especially down when the ball so connected to the device. Man, they'll flip into something and say a little interview, and then, oh, I'm like, that's Jim's my friend's in the bad box. And then you talk about your story about, I went to this. So I feel you being private, but because you are there, just, like I said all the time, great power comes great responsibility, but that responsibility is the fact that you are confident and pregnant, like it's kids that they hear that. So I know you're private, it's okay that not to know the kids know that all they see you
Or the right on place at the right time. Exactly. He's having to be a victim sometimes.
Yeah.
It seems like
yeah, and then they like, oh man, you know, man, you 50, you know, you see somewhere chilling and somebody walk up to you and say, hey, thank you for saying shit. Thank you for talking about the things. Yeah, I'm struggling to achieve. You can achieve the absolute impossible. You need great parents. You need like a private school. You need this humongous GPA and all search. What you need is one thing I talk about, which is straight up good working. You have to learn to outwork everybody in the world. No one's gonna come back and say, no one's gonna come back and say, hey, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be okay. I realized I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was, what the world and myself created. He created a very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. And I saw that as very pathetic. When you look at the truth, it becomes very ugly and pathetic. I don't need anyone. That's why you couldn't be there. No one can relate. I have a resume full of bitch. They were never around down like, oh, I have hold the darkness and down to the things that are like you. And then from there, it's like, oh, okay, you were there. You know this. You know I'm not there. To pick up the rucksack, to pick up the ball, to pick up the law, to go there. It was you. It was you that were the path back and forth. And you said, I'm too ignorant. No, that was you. These are human beings. I'm the same thing I am. Some people are faster, some better. Talent is talent. There's no, you're not gonna outwork me. Someone catch up somewhere. So that being said, I use all that 300 pound man, that fat guy, that tough guy. He said, why do you say tough? Yeah. Smart. You can become smart. You can become smart. It's not a permanent tag. And dumb forever. And fat forever. No. Be wrong. I put down above and besides that. You have to become an equal. So let's start look at it. Before you get the court, Roger Federer, he's the best of all time. Tennis, I am. Yeah. You're forgetting your own resume. Yeah. So, what's he gonna court? Let's say it's a grand slam. It's 5 sets. Hopefully, if you go the distance for this guy. But before you can even bounce the ball to serve it, you're down 2-6 because why you look across and play Roger Federer. But guess what? You get a good shot at Roger Federer. In the third set, you realize I didn't play this before. But it's too late. You gave up 2 sets before you got on the court. You gotta stop giving up 2 sets before you game against. And we do that already. We give up 2 sets. So I'll go down real quick. This is a race that you run completely alone. And you're all by yourself. I had kind of this thinking, it was all in my mirror. It wasn't like, be better than John, as fast as whoever. Okay, David, yesterday you did this. Today, our next goal for the week is this. So I had a year goal, weekly goals, daily goals, hourly goals and the big goals. I lied a lot growing up. I wanted to be accepted. One goal was, let's go one day without lying. Let's go one day, and then when I would lie to somebody, I would say, hey man, I go back now, and apologize, say, man, I lied to you. You know how hard it is to go back to somebody and say, I lied to you? Hey man, yo, back there, I lied to you there. I was really jacked up. So I figured out these ways of total accountability. Like right now, I had to run this morning before I talked to you. Because why? That's what about body matter, body fitness. A lot of folks will talk so much shit about, hey, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to do something, do that. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable? Now you do the deal for what you're saying. I am. And that's where it started. It started on that total accountability of it. That's not lying. I've lost 25 pounds. Because no one knew what I was doing. And I had to have some. So I'm really good at creating an enemy. I'm really good at creating something that I'm against. And I'm also good at, if you ever tell me something that I cannot do, I'm going to let you know that I'm doing it. Somehow, one way or another, that I'm doing it. It may not be like in your face. I may make sure that I run across the daggone world. So then it's on the news. And you turn the news on and say, how the hell am I here? I want to do something that you know I'm here. I'm here. So every time I lose a big significant amount of weight, I call that recruiter and say, hey man, there, David Goggins. God was there. But God said, hey, look, I'm testing you today. Now I'm going to test you tomorrow. Now I'm going to test you again. I'm going to let you alone, man. Pray all you want. Pray. Get on your knees, boy, pray. I'm going to still kick your ass. So the more I realize this is my journey, and the more I realize, where's all my friends? They nowhere around. It's you. So you better figure out who the fuck you are on this journey. If those few people who don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because you're trying to be somebody that they're not. You want to make sure that you know yourself. Because that's all relevant. My journey has pushed me so far, so lonely in my head, and a lot of lonely, it's going to be unseen work. No one knows what David Goggins really does. I see a 1 minute snippet, read a little book. What should I do on a daily basis gives me that very confidence. I said up here, I know, I believe that I may have failed, but building that belief knows, I know, I just didn't figure it out. I can't do it. I just didn't figure it out yet. And that's what all that is. And I've also built up an insanely high pain tolerance by having that dog. You know, I'm not some dressing man. I was born as a sickly little used kid, afraid of everything. But I built up that dog. And once you build that dog in you, man, the pain, the suffering, and the lonely nights and unbalance, if you do the right people that box up with you, dangerous life. So what happens is you gotta dissect everything in your life. There's something here that everybody has that's holding it back. That's holding it back from that doorstep. Holding it back from that greatness. Holding it back from that willingness. That manager, leader. And until you go there, until you work with that, until you stay there, you're never, ever going to get to that next. I guarantee you right now, I can look at you in the eyes. You got something deep. Life is not easy. And right now, if you look back, you need to rediscover and redefine what it is. And by doing that, you gotta get to that shadow that's chasing me. You gotta face your own shadow. So everything you say to yourself has to be something that energizes you to the core of yourself. So whenever that weak voice comes, you gotta smack it with the quick, as fast as you can. Because that weak voice is taking the path of least resistance. None of us are going to work that hard, even me. But like I said, have that conversation. conversation was, I'm not punishing you. You may be upset, but I'm gonna put you and ask to work every day because that's the only way we start to build those mental calluses. I viewed myself as the weakest person on the planet. My goal in life was to, in my mind, believe I'm the hardest man alive. And that's why the whole thing is you can't hurt me. That's what it's about. It's about whatever you think you want. You have to make that dream a reality. That's where the hard part is. It's making that dream a reality. That's where the hard work is. That's what people know how to keep grinding every day. You have to make those insecurities, those fears. Like when I was there as a panelist, I didn't have to drive. I'm going to go get a Navy SEAL. What kind of stupid shit is that, 300 pounds? It wasn't like a drive to go get a Navy SEAL. I was an insecure, lying kid, afraid. I had to look at my insecurities and in my leader, find drive and that. Now I'm looking for passion. Passion is all around you. You can it's stack of it all around you. Insecurities, all this stuff. You got to dive deeper than that. Oh, it's all in there. All the energy is right in yourself. It's all there. You got a lot of stuff to do to overcome. And, that's where I found it. I believe in a higher power. Don't know the name, don't know where it's coming from, don't believe that. But I believe in them. It's power. And visualize it. Let's say it's a man up there, and they have a chart. And when you're born, they say David Goggins. On February 17, 1975, they write the chart down because they can see everything. They know exactly what you're supposed to be. They know what you're supposed to be. You die, you go to so-called heaven. When I'm in heaven, I'm 300 pounds. I'm retired as an Eagle Lab Congress, okay? And God looks at me, and He shows me my chart. My chart, I'm going to say, you're supposed to be an ace. You're supposed to be learning anything. You're supposed to be one of the smartest people on the planet. Business, all this. You see this. And now you're in heaven, you're in heaven. I was supposed to live that life wrong. And you find out that the reason why, because we all think that we pray on and if we do this, we do that, whatever. We don't know. We just let it actually happen for us. No. I believe that when I'm all said and done with, my whole job is to outwork the chart. Whatever the chart says about me, the all-knowing power up there, I want to get up there and say, yeah, look at me and say, I know everything. I didn't see this. Self so hard that I turned a person, this dog, into this wife right here. Now I read the book on the parents. Going to work on myself and saying, I don't know how to do this, but I know that to get over there that side, I gotta grind myself into divine power. And I did it. We're not ourselves for the small accomplishments. What we need is this monstrosity of the thing that happens and I did it. There's a process that you have to go through. Patience is the process. And if you don't have patience, after a week, I haven't lost 30 pounds and I'm done. I'm over it. So that's what I found out with people, man. They're not patient enough to realize and to enjoy the moment, not live in it. Just enjoy it. There's no finish line in life. But enjoy that moment. But at first, you need all these different tactics to keep you going. Because you haven't figured it out yet. Once you figure out that you're in a race amongst billions of people that live in this world, you're in a race by yourself. You have a purpose. It's your purpose, not anyone else's purpose. It is your purpose and only your purpose. And it's your race. So then you're like, hey man, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the best of my ability. What's next? There's no longer these small increments to get to life. Because once you figure out why you're here, it just becomes a process. I want to my back is moving that. I'm facing literally. I'm a cheerleader. I also want to be proud. I'm also trying to stay excited. It's about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is, it puts no mental toughness into the no mental hardening, it goes nothing. When you working out is rare if you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not people, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life. When you look in the mirror, every morning we all look in the mirror to get ready to go to work, to go anywhere. The first thing you see is your reflection. If you don't like what you see in the morning, you've lost the war already. It's not even liking what you see. It's about looking in the mirror and you may start, man, I feel different. That reflection not everything. It's a feeling you're supposed to get. To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there. All the answers to all the test questions that tested your life. All the answers are in there. You don't have to live in suffering and pain and failure all the time. You have to learn, I need to visit it. Like people hate working out. You're only going to visit working out maybe an hour a day. 23 other hours a day, you're not in it. But how you become in shape is you must visit suffering, visit working out 1 hour a day. Visit suffering 1 hour a day. Visit your past failures 1 hour a day. The relationship with it and the answers are in there. They are in there. When you get the suffering, go in there. That's called the live offense. The live offense. How do you find yourself die? They crack you up after you're dead. How you can live is do it while you're alive. Go back in your brain, crack it open while you're alive. Don't wait until you get dead to figure out why you die. So my first conversation with him was absolutely robot. Sit down, kind. We find a kind way around everything. Like, if you don't look good, I can find a kind way of saying, I don't like your shit. Right. That's not the approach. That's the approach you're looking for. That book is not for you. Can't hurt me is not for you. The approach you have to take, this ITAL, take an approach you know. The conversation had to be a real, honest conversation. In the accountability area, guess what? I was fat. Find a kind word to say that, you know what? I've gained some weight. No, you're fat. When I couldn't read, not like, hey, you know, we can learn this. No, I cannot read. The fourth grade reading level, I'm struggling. And sometimes I call myself stupid. Not in a way to put myself down. So don't take it like, my God, this is so hurtful. Yeah, hurtful. It's honest. The conversation has to become an honest conversation of where you're at mentally. Where am I mentally? I look like, I feel like I'm falling behind in school. I'm lazy. My house is a mess. Well, I have to look at what it is and call it what it is. You'll find words to make yourself feel better. Because that's what, so we hang around people that make us feel better. Tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. You are not a good individual. So team is everything. But in that team, let's say the road crew is 6 people. You have to be a very strong individual. And don't always look to be led. And when times are fucking disgustingly hard, that's when I learned. I learned it's those times when even the hardest person in the world are looking around for guidance. Is that one little, be that one little,
Be that guy.
be that one little, when even you're saying to yourself, boy, this sucks, I don't want to be here right now, and you look at all the guys' eyes around you, and you see it, the eyes just go down, like, they got ears. You can't got eyes, to say, no, man, let's do this. So that's the one big thing I learned. Be that one of the warriors. Be the one mother that says, forget. I have to remind myself that these calluses on my hands come from hard. And the second your hands get soft, everything else gets soft. Stand by. It's coming. So what I learned is that you can have too much. You can't have too much. and your mind goes with it. Oh, I can't say that. You need to start everybody knows. Yeah. And people change all the hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and stuff. That's where that change comes from. I realize that I'm fair. It's not fair. Figure out some tools. There's some ways to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Because no one has kept the rest of you. No one feels sorry for you. And at the end of the day, I don't really care about it. That's how I felt. That was the reality. And my big thing is, if you're not changing your life, how do you your life? And if you go on your deathbed, and let's say you sat down, no one knew who part of the violence. No one knew you. But you can write my book in this journal right here for the last, let's say you die at 90 years old, and you're in a hospital, and a kid comes in to see you on the line. You don't know the kid doesn't know you can skills. And you gave the kid a book about your life. When that book changes their life for better. I want people to have that mantra in their life. Take that with you. Take it everywhere you go in life. And if you believe that and you work towards that, counsel your mind, strengthen yourself, can't put me strong. In any situation like Miles and Buzz, they beat the shit out of you. After the first minute, said, can't hurt me before. If you're coming in and work with a guy like me, knows that you have to have thick skin to get better. You have to call yourself out. If you're fat, I want to hear it. I don't want to hear you tap dance. So I don't take on many clients because when you work with me, we're going to get you roots of the key problem. And a lot of people don't want to go there. They don't want to talk about the child. They don't want to talk about their past. They don't get to root the problems. And they go, why am I not getting better? It's just a lot of better than you even dealt with, bro. You know, people go to the gym, like for instance, going through any kind of special operations. These people go to the gym, they get big, they get jacked, they can run fast, all that shit. But all you're doing is you're coding over your mind. All you're doing is building a bigger, stronger, quitter. Your body hasn't gotten any stronger because you're gone back in there and do it. So the second adversity comes, like, my God, I'm so fit. What's wrong? Your mind is still soft. So I work on the mind. This is something that we have to acquire as part of your everyday grind. Very few people, I guarantee, ever felt this power. Like to push themselves so far outside of what they thought was impossible for me. You have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. What that means is you may have failed but you come to work like lost everything. How the hell are you so damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what it takes. And you're gonna get it wherever you can. Whether you think of this illusion of your life, this false reality that gets you motivated, whatever gets you motivated, is gonna be here at the tip of your brain at all times. Because in those dark moments, you gotta pull it out. So that's the big thing for me, man. I was always fired up at all times. I sat down and think, and I said to myself, what are you doing? Everything. And when people come to me with that kind of mindset, I can work with you. And you are willing to strip yourself down to nothing and get everything. That's what I want to work with. Because now I can mold you into exactly what you want to be. When you put these restrictions up, that's what our first question is. How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live, breathe, or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with a lot of people. Most people don't want it that badly. So I would ask the question, how do you get to it? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you, or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you. And what do I encourage you to push you into that place that I know you have to be? There's no luck in this game anyway. But the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. That happened. You put yourself in that situation with luck right now. Because that's exactly what you're finding. I want to make sure you're good. You're good. I'm going to tell you right now, she's right there sitting. She knows I don't buy myself shit. I take great pride in that. Come on, what? Seriously, as a man, and men are free guys. It sounds so barbaric. That's the pride what you have as a man. Is that you see your girl, you see your kids, you see all this, you see them doing well. And that's all a real man wants. About how they dress, how they dress. Your trophies, family, and they're all walking around every minute that sees you. They see you walking with some sweatpants, but they know your family's getting involved because you put the time in, you put the effort in, you put the work in. As a man, we don't know nothing. We just want to get respect. Once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, the only thing they've done better than you is they're better than you have. That's all they've done. So once I realized that, if you want to sit back and like, for instance, there's all these things that are on TV, and we get all these news people judging people with their life. Yeah, they make big mistakes. But that person who's judging you on TV, I guarantee that news person is that bad. Didn't come out. I want to judge them. I want you. I know that about them. So if you want to sit back and judge how jacked up I was, and how messed up my life was, very good. Have a good time. I'm smiling at you right now, knowing you have a secret that you're not willing to share. It gives you a lot of power when you're going podcast this big and say, hey, tell me, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I no longer care. And that is a lot of power in that. To be able to put your life on a billboard for the whole world to see and say, judge the man, energy's everywhere. But the thing is, it's so loud. That voice in your head of pain and suffering and discomfort and I want to do this is so loud. That you're unable to really calm it down and say, okay, there's something here. It's impatient, calm that you have to bring yourself saying, I know I have something here, but that voice is so powerful that it's let's leave. Right? We're done. We're done. It's passes you out and you want to go. Versus say, let's take a second. Hang on. Before we spaz, God, hang on. And in that moment, you can think clearly and find that strength out there on the other end of suffering. That's the real growth of life. Because you realize how the mind processes. I mean, I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. They are guys that read these good books, man, and they sit down and tell you what the mind is supposed to do. And a lot of us listen to that. It becomes like, this is it, man. This old man
30 minutes.
has been studying the mind forever. This is the cap that we have. By being a practitioner, I went out and realized, wow, these guys are so wrong, man. The mind has capabilities that are so unknown that I'm not letting you suffer. And there's a whole other world on the other end of that. You have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you. I don't respect a whole bunch of people. But the few that I did respect are the people who were uncommon amongst the common people. And what that means is those people who aren't afraid to stand alone. Those people that have morals, values, that did not go with. If all you guys are going to the left, if that one person say, no, the left's not the right way. I'm quiet. We didn't follow the crowd. That person's not afraid of doing what they believe is right in their heart and not following someone else because someone else said, let's go this way, and they agree with their God. I'm not yes man or yes woman. If you're right, they're right. They'll follow you. A lot of people who stand for something, they believe in something, and this is the way I'm going to go whether you like me or not. I sat there and I had to reflect back on my life. Being bullied, coming from nothing, learning disability, messed up foundation. Life isn't fair. At all. At all. So what are you going to do about it? I'll do that. No one's coming back to help me. No one's going to miracle me to be somebody special. Everybody that called me, my dad, my mom, all my situations were on me now. It's solely on me. So I had to start developing an indestructible mental toolbox. So I sat there on that couch and realized that I am a piece of. And even though the world helped me get here, my false reality helped me even more. Your best work has to come when you're least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But I'm on top of this stuff. I'm like, I paid a trainer, Jenny Craig, they come down here. None of that. It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, so it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre. Everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad. And that's why you want to do it. People love scoring touchdowns, man, but no one's being lineman. Right. They get praised for scoring touchdowns, that lineman doesn't work. A practitioner is a man. It's me. I put myself in hell, lived in it for a long time, and figured out how the human mind works. While being something basically, that's how I work. I'm going to tell you exactly what your mind is thinking. Most of us don't stay in there long enough to write a book. I stayed in long enough to write it and finish the book. People go, how did you go to 135 miles to death badness, 100 miles with no training? Because I was not thinking I can't do this. I went to it with a strategy. I have an open-mindedness. So until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you will never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, and then, only then, does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Basically teaching you how to callous over your victim's mentality. I'm teaching you how to, like I did 67,000 books of training for the program. I was seriously callousing my hands to protect it. What I'm trying to do with people is teach them how to find more themselves, to enable power. So that's all about the underdog. So that's what the book's all about. That's about having that step process, and I have to share this with people. A lot of people think self-talk works. It does. But it doesn't work without the suffering before your mind starts saying we need self-talk. So what I tell myself is I go back to the months and years of preparation to get to that day. And I'm telling myself, 3:30 in the morning, I'm looking at my shoes, and I'm going to go out there and run 30 minutes. I have to, in that second, in that moment of this self-talk of mindset, you got to find more, you got to find more. But once to get it calmed down, go back into my mind, in my cookie jar, I call it, and I have to reflect back on the shit I did to get here. And that becomes my self-talk. Self-talk does not work unless it is real. Most of us lie to ourselves in the self-talk. It doesn't work. It has to be real. It has to be something that you've done to make it really work. I had to develop a mindset that was indestructible. I had an armor plate in my mind. And it's about what you're saying to yourself. So whenever I'm getting beat down, physically, mentally, just saying, you can't hurt. Can't hurt me just became a message I figured out I would say to myself. And that's just kind of where it comes from. The second I shut out the hope and realized that one thing, that I am in this world alone, fighting this race by myself.
39 minutes. 700.
But I'm really all up right now. Just like I said, no one knows the real truth about what I really know. I don't care if anybody knows. I don't want anybody to know. I'm an introvert. I live an introverted life. And I love that about me. And that right there is not true. And I know that there's really no one out there aligned me like me. If they are, so be it. You have to have that kind of one in your life. If you're fine with waking up every morning and having just enough to go on vacation and come back and you work again, that's good for you. But you're in this room for a reason. I know what it feels like to be alone, with no motivation, no drive, no passion. And what has to come out of your soul in the darkest of times talk like I talked to this one kid the other day. College is kicking my ass. I said, what are you gazing at all of? I go, are you trying? Yeah, I'm trying my ass off. I'm studying hard. I go, I told him I didn't try, and I made great grades. In college, I'm trying to credit what you did in high school. I'm sure it came easy to you. So your reality is something you created on stuff easy. So you trying hard, it's 2 hours study. I'm gonna tell you the difference in trying hard and trying hard. Trying hard is something in your mind just tells you stop. We're reading 2 hours isn't enough. So it's all about reality and what you're basing things off of. I'm a tough guy. That was the outside surface. The inside, I was a kid that was turtle. That needed all kind of help, but no one knew it. They never talked about it because why that's your weakness. And my mom didn't need to hear it. At least that's what I thought. So for me to come out and be this vulnerable, because everybody thinks I'm Superman. So I wonder why. Yeah, everybody thinks I'm Superman. So I had to tell them the truth. And the truth is very important. And for me, a lot of years of my life growing up, I lied a lot. I didn't have a lot of friends, socially, just all kind of awkward. I was hiding all kind of stuff. So you do whatever you can to create another human being that's acceptable, that you think is acceptable in society. And when I did that, all that came out was a bunch of shit, a bunch of lies, a bunch of filth, a bunch of nothing. So for me to come out and write a book about the real David Goggins, it was tough. It was tough. That's the only way. If I want to help people out, the only way I could cut to the surface and look, guys, gals, whoever's reading this book, I am who I am now. You guys see this. It's been very easy to write a book about the hero, David Goggins. But the hero's not me. The hero's the person reading the book. But I had to tell them where I came from to give people hope that, wow, that's where he came from. He came from all these obstacles, and now he's there. I want to give people that kind of hope, so that's why it was tough. What I do for the rest of my life. David Goggins equals all the discipline. I can have that next level. And you're truly committed to something. Not like where you I want to be a doctor, but when I run into this roadblock, I don't want to be a doctor. No, I'm going to be a doctor to hell and high water. I needed that kind of commitment. And David Goggins didn't know about it. I knew how to wash a car. I knew how to clean a house. I knew how to, do all these manual labor jobs. But when it came down to true suffering, to the highest of suffering, I didn't have that next level of, we have this next level. David Goggins wasn't enough. So I went into my mental lab and realized that I want to be great, but I don't have greatness in me. So I had to create a motherfucker that was great. And in my mind, I really think on visualization. And people think it's all kind of cool. But I don't get this is a true truth right here, man. In my mind, it's okay. I want to look like this. I want to feel like this.
800.
I have a mind that is
44 minutes.
That is never dull. That's always push. That was the biggest thing I wanted. I wanted to hit obstacles that most people up, including myself. But I didn't waver. I didn't fear. I didn't run away. I just stayed and marinated in the fear and suffering. And through that, building Goggins, I will become Goggins when necessary. And I started to do these things on my own. I didn't have my own training ground. I built a training ground to Navy SEALs. If you go to Navy SEAL training not prepared, you're going to quit. So I built this training ground on my own. And I started doing these horrific things that David Goggins couldn't handle. But Goggins started slowly coming up. I started getting that visualization of the guy I want to create. And in that water, things got hard. I started slowly coming up. I started putting that visualization of the guy I wanted to create. And in that water, when things got hard, and I was training alone, God just would appear. All you warriors, trolls, haters, angels with the messages. On those videos I put up, me and my crutches, me getting my knees drained. You were happy I was an injury. You're also happy that you thought they were running in. On that sea, I told you. You don't get to know me. You see in 1 minute, you video about me. You know how hard I trained, how I live, the dedication I put to my life. So why do you troll? Maybe it's the fact that you're at home, lazy, with no discipline or dedication. Maybe you're jealous. Who knows? But guarantee this. I'll be back better than ever. Dude, they are. People talk about discipline, determination, repetitions and all this. Consistency. But why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of it. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over, the clutch, the garage comes in, and then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and sparks. In our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a circuit breaker that's so much in it, you keep on loading it, you can't put any more into it. So I talk about it, man, so much about clearing space in mind so that you have room for all those disciplines. Waking up early, taking those, because they do need something. But we don't get to that dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage. You need to fucking work harder. You need to fucking discipline your mind better. You need to help people more than just saying it's okay. It's okay that you're not willing to help yourself out. That's not okay. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. Even though it's your life, if that's acceptable, that's unacceptable. And there's a lot of people in this world, me included, that if I accepted that, I wouldn't be anywhere. But what it takes is a discipline that no one can ever even, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everybody has the ability to do it, but they just don't want to. They want to keep asking questions and keep going to seminars. And the greatness is right in you. That's why, once again, I'll say this a million times here, I do not feel sorry for you. I will not sugarcoat what I'm going to say to you. Because all of you know what I'm saying is the truth. Everybody.
900.
knows it's the truth. This is what it looks like. And you know it too.
49 minutes.
If you ain't got nothing, I hate to tell you, what it looks like is ugly. It's not a documentary. It's not an HBO special. You ain't gonna watch the hey man, you guys gotta watch this. No, it's like, oh God, it's like a train. It's like a night. It's like this guy got no. That's what it looks like. Hard work looks for. It's not motivating. It's not motivating at all. It ain't like Rocky round 14 he gets knocked down and put like this to Apollo Creed. Looks like a man being stuck in a dungeon. And there's no way out. But you have the key. But you refuse to use it. So many people would never understand that kind of discipline or that kind of human being that wants to go to the stratosphere. Yeah. They'll always be misunderstood, man. Always. You can't even, that's why a lot of times when I talk to people, I can't have a conversation with a lot of people, man, because you're gonna walk away like,
why are you doing, David? Why don't you just take a break?
Yeah.
You deserve a break.
I taught myself all these things, all these disciplines. Whenever the first real big challenge become, that little wisdom will push you back in the hole. And I realized, man, I'm fixing stuff on a surface level. I'm all surface, man. I'm not going deep into the cellar of my mind and fixing the foundation of my soul. My soul is broken. But I knew I could fix it, but I was afraid to go back. I was afraid to face the demons of my life, because you start lying. You wouldn't even know this about you, so you start lying about who you're not. And start creating a person about who you want to be, because now who you are. So that's when I started realizing, man, I'm never going to get over the hurdle. I'm always going to go to a surface level until I go deep into the sewer of my mind to figure out and face all of these different demons. That's hard. It's hard. We all like social media. We all like everybody to see us for who we want to be. That's why we post beautiful things about us. That's not gonna fix you. So I realized that. That's when I started going back. I'm very aware of my need, my sleeping, my disciplines of life. If I start to get too far away from them, it's a hard stop. Because what made me me are the self, not just disciplines, the self disciplines of life. And those are always in front of you. If you have it, they're always in front of you. So that's my hard stop. I take a lot of the disciplines, the self-disciplines from that mentality to grow.
But everybody's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a car or a person inside. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person inside. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places. But right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hey, this is Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the after it every daggone day. Stay hard.
Discipline's good too. But without a clear headspace, there's no discipline. So let's say we have a circuit breaker. Okay? And I'm loading everything up to one circuit. Just load it up. It's gonna fucking blow. But once that thing blows, man, the circuit's all done. You're gonna have it's down plugged into the right spot. Like a crowded garage. You can't put anything in it. Once your brain is crowded, discipline is great. Motivation is great. But if you can't get in your brain because it's all cluttered, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have in a discipline. But basically, it's you're organizing your mind so you can put that discipline. So a lot of people talk about discipline. Okay, great. Why did you fall off the fucking wagon? Why can't I continue with this routine? Going to the gym, being better, waking up early, eating the right foods. It's because maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your job. And it's all just stuck in your fucking brain. You don't have it compartmentalized, organized in these nice shelves. Like if you look at a garage, it's all a nice organized militant garage. Hey, where are my dumbbells? Right there. A lot of people, hey, where's my dumbbells? Oh, look. We're throwing strength, looking through toes and all. No. So where am I going to put discipline? In that mind, if I can't find
Fuck out of here.
You gotta be able
1,000
to
reps.
things in your mind.
55 minutes.
I can put
Get your fucking weight up, pussies.
I can